Nothing is for him. I cannot hear you.
I said your mic is unmuted during the intro. That's never supposed to happen.
No, and I can't hear the music or anything. Nothing is playing.
You can't hear the music.
I can only hear you.
What the heck?
It did that last time too. We were together.
All I did was press the intro button. I didn't change anything.
It's like nope. Go fuck yourself.
Let's try this again and see if it works this time.
Right, let's go. When the voices arise from the storm and immortalized. Let's go. You can find me below. I'll let the enemy know. When the voices arise from the storm and immortalized. Let's go. You can find me below. I'll let the enemy know.
Did that work out a little bit better this time, sir?
Yeah, I gave you the thumbs up, so yeah.
Well, I didn't see a thumb. I mean, I saw somebody post a thumbs up that said that they liked the video, and yet the show hasn't started yet, and they already liked the video. I saw that thumbs up. I didn't see you. It's fine. But
so before you start the other music, we have to do the quick pick real quick because the game's about to start. Raiders or Rams?
America. That's who loses. No. Raiders.
Yeah, because Josh Jacobs has been a fucking monster the last fucking 4 weeks.
Yes.
He's like, I will show you why you need to sign me, Josh, even though you're not going to.
I mean, if he doesn't, it'd be the stupidest thing that he ever did. And they'll definitely
Coach
regret
McMuffin.
that next season. Well, I
Coach
mean,
McMuffin.
you're not wrong, sir. But we now it's time for the most important song of the day. Okay? The most important song of the day. Yeah, that's a little better. A little bit better.
Copyright, stay away.
If they try to copyright this,
get flag, bomb.
if they try to copyright this, somebody needs to be shamed, okay? Tarred, feathered, all that, all right? Yes, I'm calling for medieval punishments for those that are claiming copyright on this song. Because, my God, nobody knows what the copyright on this song is. That's a long list, okay? But we're not here to discuss copyright song or the copyright law. I don't have a law degree. Neither does Sid. But you know what we do have? We have fan input because we are that damn NFL show. Last week, we had a special commenting appearance by my man Mickey Bourbon. Mickey Bourbon was in the building. Big Sid is with us, finally back again, like crack again. It's a long road ahead in this football game of life. But it's all right. You know why? Because we roll with it. Let's go. So we had a lot of shit to do with this. We learned some things. Mainly that 49ers offensive players and some defensive players are made of glass. That's what we learned.
Oh, yeah. And if people didn't catch it at first, we already picked the Thursday night game. We both got the Raiders over the Rams this week because the Rams, their whole offense is gone. This time Baker Mayfield has been there like a day. I think he's starting tonight.
God damn, I hope not. Jesus Christ. Do you know the playbook? No, doesn't matter. You're starting. Oh, okay.
Just run. You are better than Danny Wolfle. Anyway.
Wow. Poor
All
guy.
right, so let me just rip the Band-Aid off here. And I agree with Mac Jones, and they need to stop handcuffing the fucking offense in New England since he has like 5 playmakers and wide receiver that can actually do something. But no, we're going to throw 3-yard screen passes all day. Have a good day.
Well, because listen, they're still for some reason running the Thomas Franklin Brady offense there. I don't know why.
Well, Patricia's been calling the offense since week fucking 4, and the only time it's worked was against Minnesota, and they fucking lost that game too.
So and you see, are we forgetting what Matt Patricia did in Detroit?
No, I'm not forgetting that. I think Bill Belichick is forgetting Matt Patricia is a defensive-minded coach. Joe Judge is an offensive-minded coach. Let Joe Judge call the fucking plays and then fire his ass and bring in Bill O'Brien, which is what they're probably going to do after the season as the offensive coordinator.
If they let Bill O'Brien in, they're going to trade Mac Jones in for a fucking pack of Legos.
No, they won't, because Bill O'Brien will not be the GM. He will just be the offensive coordinator.
He will convince them. He will find a way to convince Bill Belichick. He's gonna hypnotize that man and say, "Hey, you know who we should trade? The whole entire offense. That's who we should trade. Everyone for as many assets as we can get." That way,
Bill Belichick would take that team to the Super Bowl because Matt Patricia is not coaching the offense. Anyway,
that way, for the first time in NFL history, Bill Belichick can have draft picks 1 through 32 in the first round.
So what we're going to do here, we're just going to give you all 32 picks real quick. I'll be getting 3-year deals. We will cut the fat as we go.
That'll make up for Deflategate and all the picks that were lost in.
No, because that'll be draft pick gate.
They traded their entire offense. There's nothing to debate.
There is not that is not allowed because you have to have so many people on a team at a time.
Listen, we're gonna hire grocery baggers.
Look, we're gonna go get everybody's practice squad, sign them all, trade everybody, then just draft everybody and cut all the practice squad people.
We're gonna draft. We're gonna sign everybody that Patrick Mahomes threw to in the last 2 games. Grocery baggers, ballet attendants, concession stand attendees, okay, security guards, because that's all who Patrick Mahomes had over the last 2 weeks, catching the ball with all of his receivers out.
Bro, Patrick, Rogers, yeah, both of those two I've only had fucking Foot Locker employees running around.
I'm telling you, old fucking mini strip mall, Magic Mall employees and shit, niggas on probation. All that's who it was. So
yeah.
So, anyways, yes, they need to stop. Just somebody needs to tell the offense in New England, stop, get some help. Mainly just find Josh McDaniels' 2006, 2007 playbook and blow the dust off that sumbitch and just let it fly.
So I'm not really, I will talk shit about the Patriots when I need to, and right now is the time I need to.
Yes.
Matt Patricia was brought in as a special assistant. He should have stayed his ass as a special assistant. It just helped out the defense and the offensive line. Number 2, Joe Judge is there for a reason. Joe Judge he was successful with Brady there. And all Matt Patricia seems to want to do is throw screen passes, even when it's 3rd and 14, they're down by 14. Go downfield. You have Devontae Parker, Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers. You have weapons. Did you know Ramondre Stevenson is second in the NFL for yards after first contact, only to Derrick Henry? Did you know that?
Yeah. Yes.
Ramondre Stevenson is a fucking beast. But when they need yards, they got some fucking motherfucker who ain't never played offense before in the goddamn backfield.
Well, that seems to be a common theme that, people that's never played offense, people that have never coached offense, people that are doing offensive things on the field. That seems to be the MO for the offense of the New England Patriots.
So, Bill, if you are looking for a higher draft pick, just put fucking Zappy out there. See if you can get him some trade value on Zappy and just fucking lose these games because 6-6. One of those games, the Hunter Henry thing was a catch that should have been a win for the Patriots.
Oh yeah, of course.
But So the only thing I could brag about this year against my counterparts in the AFC East are we are the only team to not lose to the Jets in our division.
That's true. That's true. Well, listen.
That's the only bragging rights I have this year.
So, have you noticed over the last couple weeks that the Giants and the Jets seem to win and lose games the same weeks? That seems to be their MO. The Jets go as the Giants go. I don't know why that is.
The Giants go as Saquon Barkley goes. Saquon Barkley has been injured in those losses. So,
well, Saquon Barkley goes as the Jets go then. Because every time the Jets win, the Giants win. And every time the Jets lose, the Giants lose. And I think Saquon Barkley must have money on them because this is exactly what's happening. I don't know what it is. I can't call it.
In Week 13, the Jets lost, but the Giants tied. So that goes your thing out of the water.
That's even worse. They couldn't even lose properly, okay? They couldn't even throw the fucking game right.
All right, so now that I'm done bitching about the Patriots for now.
We got one more thing, though.
What's that?
So we have Jimmy G, broken, made of glass.
I thought we were going to talk about that when we got to the 49ers.
No, because he talked about the Patriots. I'm going to talk about the Brock Purdy real quick.
The game of the week was the Patriots. It was the Thursday night game. That's why I talked about it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't know. Okay, so shout out to the Bills. They won. Ha, ha, ha. All right. Next on the list.
Aaron Rodgers and his grocery baggers continue to own the Chicago Bears.
Yep, and that's a game that I exactly called. I said I don't trust Justin Fields. I don't give a fuck who he is, what he is, where he is, how he is, or why he is, or if he is. Okay, that's neither my concern. I am concerned with dubs and losses, and
why is Gamora? Okay,
why is Gamora? Yes, why is Gamora? So why is Justin Fields? Okay, why is Justin Fields still on the Bears when the Bears are trying to sacrifice him to the elder gods?
He's the only one on the Bears who's competent. Oh, and you know who else is competent?
Who?
Like he was in New England, when games don't matter and are so far out of hand, he will make a big catch. Mr. N'Keal Harry, good job on your one catch this season, sir.
That's right, baby. Woo! MVP. fucking P.
In Week 13, he literally has the longest catch of the Bears this season, and it was 40 yards.
Sometimes you get that one catch. That's just that one catch.
He's like Eminem. You get one catch to show them all.
Yep. I still got it, baby. Woo!
It's amazing. So Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears like Tom Brady owned the AFC East for 20 years.
True. Although, didn't the Bears beat the Packers earlier this season?
Nope.
No?
That was the Packers' other big win this season.
Oh,
when they won by multiple scores.
So the Packers can only beat the Bears and nobody else. Okay, yep. All right. Just making sure that that's a thing. Okay.
Yeah, basically.
So as I stated in the show last week, I said if Aaron Rodgers, if they lose another game, they need to sit Aaron Rodgers for the rest of the season. You're paying him way too much fucking money.
When I was trying to convey your picks as you were muttering through things, I heard that and I was like, yeah, I agree with them. If they lost that game to the Bears, I think Rodgers should sit out the rest of the season. Fuck it.
Yeah.
See what you have in Jordan Love and your fucking superstore employees.
Exactly. There's no point of trying to murder Aaron Rodgers. You're paying him way too much money to be without him for the rest of for next year, right? Just say fuck it. Plus you already know that he's hurt. You know what I'm saying?
And also Minnesota is dominating this division.
Yeah. Just let it ride. And try again next season. You can probably even get some good trade fodder. Who knows? What you call him? What's his name? John Elway. Even though he's not running shit anymore, he's still on the board of the fucking the people that own the fucking Broncos. He might be able to convince them to pay that much money for old ass Aaron Rodgers after they paid so much money for Joe Flacco and not paid so much money for Colin Kaepernick and paid so much money for Russell Wilson and not paid so much money for Drew Lock and paid so much money to Peyton, whatever the fuck is not Manning, the other Peyton, the other dude, the rookie nigga, Peyton, whatever the fucks, the dude that sucked ass. There was a rookie.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's how fast he was in the NFL, in and out of the NFL. We don't know his fucking name. Fuck him. All right. So
next up, we both got this one wrong. as the Black Air Force One energy was in the building for Pittsburgh for one game as they beat the Falcons, who just can't seem to stop running over themselves.
Bad to a point to where that's a new QB starting this week. It's not Mariota coming up this weekend. It's some other dude. I forgot his name. They probably wish they would have got Baker Mayfield because although he probably wouldn't have helped, it would have given him a better target. It would have given him a better target to get targeted on offense.
It was priority, and unfortunately, the Falcons overperformed earlier this season. So
no, you know what it is? They felt bad for the Rams. The NFL felt bad for the Rams.
But because they only have 3 wins, and their whole fucking team is hurt. Like every fucking body is hurt in that team.
Well, listen. You play to win the game, and it just so happens sometimes you get injured. So if your whole team's in the infirmary, is it really? You know, what I'm saying? This shit happens. Okay.
So neither one of us are particular fans of Sean McVay, but in my mind, after I saw that shit and I seen that Matt Stafford was hurt conveniently after Cooper Kupp was out for 6 to 10 games, I'm like, Matt Stafford ain't hurt. He's trying to persevere this motherfucker until next year. That's all they doing right now.
Well, yeah, because first it was the concussion, right? Oh, by the way, I hurt my shoulder. Now that my brain works, my shoulder's hurt. I'm out for the season. Bye.
And Cooper Kupp's like, you know what? I'm going to have surgery and I'll see you guys next year.
Bye. Like fucking brain.
Aaron Donald was like, well, I don't feel like rushing the quarterback right now. So, my ankle. Bye.
Bye. Everybody else signed a big ass contract.
You want to talk about grocery store baggers? That's what the Rams offense is now.
Unfortunately, John Wolford has starting experience.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But also, we are also talking about a man in a GM who talked shit about Cam Akers and then traded the starting running back. So Cam Akers is only the experienced running back on the team.
They say, you know what? Fuck Cam Akers. We're gonna trade your competition. That's how fuck you I am. I'm gonna be right now. Fuck you, guy. I'm gonna trade your competition. So you gotta play every snap. Fuck you. And then Cam is like, I have a performance. And his agent's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
You want to get paid? You want to get paid to get out of here next year?
You know what
Shut
I'm saying?
the fuck up.
Play 66% of the snaps, you son of a bitch. Keep it going.
All right. So next up, we talked about the Jets losing already. The Vikings beat the Jets.
Yes. So we have was it Jags Lions is on your list next?
Yep.
So
the Lions are in second place in their division. Woo!
So I called this one. I called Lions in this one. I don't know why. I just had a feeling.
You just had that feeling. And okay, so they murdered fucking Trevor Lawrence, but then Trevor Lawrence got the balls and came back in.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't.
But they murdered Trevor Lawrence early in that game.
It was about to be. The Jags were trying to come back in this game too, and they just couldn't get their foot on it. Like
the Lions were like, yeah, we're just gonna keep on scoring. Fuck it.
Yeah. That's when they channeled Matt Patricia on defense. That's what that was. That was
foot to the throat. Let's put these boys out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Trevor Lawrence thinks fucking Urban Meyer is coaching him again because all he hears is yelling in his head after that hit.
Yeah. Fuck, they need to keep that man out for a little bit. And it sucks because
he came back and played well when he came back. Like he came back with a chip on his shoulder.
They knocked him back. He thought Adabo was in his ear at that point after he got hit. Go on, boy. What you gonna do on down, boy?
Oh, I got you, Dabo. Touchdown. Another hit. Urban.
Throw that shit to Etienne, nigga. Throw that shit to Etienne, goddammit. Etienne ain't even on the team. I said throw it to him.
Get those DraftKings points, bitch.
Give me that fantasy points.
So I keep counting out the Eagles because fuck them, but they just keep on winning. And AJ Brown is showing the Titans they made a huge mistake. And I think after this game, this is why the Tennessee Titans fired their GM, the one who made the trade without telling Mike Vrabel, because AJ Brown had another 100-yard receiving 2-touchdown game on the season.
Oh, and probably, and the respect was in because right before the game started, Mike Vrabel and fucking AJ Brown fucking hugged each other like they haven't seen each other in forever. You know what I'm saying?
If you remember the draft day when they traded AJ Brown,
yeah,
Mike Vrabel flipped the fuck out.
Oh yeah, I know.
besides Derrick Henry, this is your best offensive weapon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hands down. And when you have that situation where, like, and I think Mike Vrabel bonded with AJ Brown, well enough, and of course the rest of the offense bonded with him. The struggles that the Tennessee Titans are having can actually be attributed to the fact that they don't have a number one receiver. The difference is, like, for example, the Ravens don't have a number one receiver. They had Hollywood Brown, and they traded him.
They traded him to Arizona, and unfortunately he's not getting snaps because Kyler Murray's too busy playing video games.
Exactly. And but see, even at that, he wasn't really a number one receiver. He was like a 1.5.
No,
he was better than a number 2, but not exactly a number 1.
Because Mark Andrews is your number 1 receiver in Baltimore, even though he's a tight end, and they're not going to pay. They don't want to call him a receiver because they don't want to have to pay him like a receiver.
Exactly. And unfortunately, because tight ends, really, really good tight ends are not in abundance. Guys, the Gronks don't come.
They're like 7. They're like 7.
Like I said, Gronks don't just show up every day, right? That's not how it goes.
So right now in the NFL, you got Kelsey, you got Andrews, you got Waller, you got Hunter Henry,
yep,
you got Kittle,
yep,
you got. Is Mercedes Lewis still doing it for the Packers or no?
Yeah, he's still there, but he's mainly blocking tight end.
He's blocking now.
Yeah, he's the only person saving Aaron Rodgers' ass half the time.
So basically, we have 5, and you can count Geskis in that, but Geskis only shows up. Geskis doesn't show up in big games.
Yeah.
And the rookie wide receiver in Tampa Bay is Brady's new Gronk because that kid is good.
Yeah. No, hands down. And I think that's the thing though. Like, peep game.
Oh, yeah, and Hockenstein. Forgot about him.
So I look at it like this, okay? The Eagles are doing the how AJ Brown fits into the Eagles is that people already had Devontae Smith and the other dude to worry about. Now you got AJ Brown, who just seemingly you can fit him anywhere because he can play the slot, he can play the outside. And the one
thing people don't realize about AJ Brown that he is 6'5", 275. The dude is a fucking monster.
Yeah, the dude can absolutely fucking play.
Because he came from that DK Metcalf factory.
Yeah. And that's why I was saying, like, why would you trade somebody like, or if you're going to trade him, you need to get like 2 first rounders or 2 first and a second. You got like a second and then cash considerations or some dumb shit. I don't know.
They got a third, a 7th in cash.
Yeah, third, 7th cash. This is bullshit. Like, why would you even I wouldn't even have never even entertained that offer. Your number 1 receiver. You know what I'm saying?
I think I made the joke that Bill O'Brien was on the phone. Bill O'Brien made that trade, not the fucking GM of the Titans.
Exactly. Must have been. And nigga must have been in his ear. And old boy's name is John Robinson, the same athletic director that tried to convince us that Jason Thomas was a fucking Heisman Trophy winner. So obviously, I don't know if they're in the same family or not, but obviously they're all full of bullshit anyway. Yeah, but the point I was trying to make about the receivers, at least on the Ravens, without like a true number 1 wide receiver. I mean, they have Mark Andrews, but no number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah,
you have Lamar Jackson. On the Titans, you have Derrick Henry, yes, but you can't call run plays half the time, and he's not a pass-catching running back.
No,
so
especially when your defense can't stop people from scoring. You can't run the ball every play.
Exactly. So Tannehill really had to play above his skill set a couple games ago remember when they shut down Derrick Henry a couple days ago. But the fucking Tannehill had MVP numbers, which is absolutely uncanny for that man to actually have, which is probably why.
He played like he played all of last year.
Yeah. Well,
last year he balled out last year.
Yeah, but that was way above his. He paid way above his play grade in that one game.
And he had AJ Brown.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's trust me, the GM of the Titans deserved to get fired.
Oh wait, I forgot they had Julio Jones too.
Well, they had broken Julio Jones. They didn't have the real Julio Jones.
Julio's looking better this year.
Yes, he is. Fortunately,
who's not looking good right now?
Who?
And I know it's his first game back, and he's had 13 straight weeks of hand jobs, and his legs were a little rubbery. But the Browns still beat the Texans because the Texans are that bad.
Well, so I didn't know.
The Browns did not score an offensive touchdown this game, and they still beat the Texans.
I did not know that they benched Davis Mills. I said, why?
Because he threw
Why?
like 4 picks.
And so your backup is better?
It's Houston. They have a history of this.
Oh, no. They have a history of sacrificing their quarterbacks to the elder gods, i.e. David Carr, i.e. Matt Schaub, okay?
I still hate that fan base for cheering when Matt Schaub got hurt. I don't even like Matt Schaub, but that's a piece of shit fan base.
They made a pizza after him called the Pick Six with toppings. Okay? It was 6 toppings on an extra large pizza. I'm not surprised. I'm flabbergasted that they would have the audacity to do that, but I'm sure as fuck not surprised. Okay? Which is also why I'm not surprised that people find out about fucking Deshaun Watson's hand jobs thanks to the fucking Houston GMs and the fucking ownership. Oh, you want to leave? Oh, I got something for you.
No, the funniest part was Deshaun Watson shook the hand of the Texans owner, but the Texans owner's wife looked at that motherfucker like, "Get your nasty ass away from me."
That's because she was probably a former masseuse, and I'm saying
she's the whistleblower.
Yes. Oh, she was blowing a lot more than whistles. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is that Deshaun Watson is back and looking just like a Browns quarterback. Okay,
shitty,
like shit. Just to think,
it's amazing. Jacoby Brissett has won so many games this year.
Well, to be fair,
yes, he does have Kareem Hunt and fucking Nick Chubb, but still, and Amari Cooper balling the fuck out.
Yeah, it's what it is. Listen, we always know Jacoby Brissett as probably a top tier African American quarterback, not like the best one, but easily top 5 or 6 in the NFL. To me,
yeah, he's had a long. I have to put him above RG3 just because of how long he's been in the league now.
Well, I meant now, like in the league right now, top 5 or 6. Now, as far as all time,
there only is 5 or 6. So
exactly. So that's about it. That's it.
Yeah, James over there. It's not a stretch.
Exactly. So now that we're on the same page, what I'm saying is that Jacoby Brissett, for all intents and purposes, is the type of guy that can fill in for you. The type of guy that can come in, maybe win some games, maybe lose some games. He's Black Steve Bono, okay? If that's who Jacoby Brissett is, okay? Black Steve Bono. So now, it's true, okay?
So you basically just need to say he's Joshua Jackson, who is back on the 49ers once again.
Oh, Josh Johnson, the greatest journeyman not named McCown, okay? He has been in more places than Josh McCown.
When I told John, I was like, "Hey, after the game, you're on sign Josh Johnson." He's like, "Man, fuck that dude. Fuck him."
There are two Johnsons that I dislike. Josh Johnson and Rob Johnson. Okay? And both of them seem to be the greatest journeyman of all time.
You know what irritates me about Rob Johnson?
What?
Is he admitted to deflating the footballs at the Super Bowl and still got to keep his ring?
Yeah, exactly. See? Oh, no, you're talking about Brad Johnson.
Oh, was that Brad Johnson?
Yeah, Brad Johnson was the Bucs quarterback. Rob Johnson was the guy they replaced both Doug Flutie and Alex Van Pelt during their winning streak.
Yeah. I remember who you're talking about.
Yes. Doug Flutie, I'm going to win all these games for you. We got Rob Johnson, though, so, yeah. And then Alex Van Pelt, I'm 3-1. We got Rob Johnson, so
I remember NFL 2K, Hollywood was always like, MVP.
That's right. Listen, Alex Van Pelt had came in during that Buffalo.
Kastar Baba, is that your real name?
Kaswar Baba. He's related to Ali the Giant. That's his little cousin. You know what I'm saying? And anyways, so Josh Johnson has been everywhere, and and when we want a quarterback sign, and you're like, we have, you know who as a free agent at the time. Well, we even go back when Michael Vick was a free agent. We had, I gotta think of some really good, decent backup quarterbacks.
Who were free agents?
Huh?
You have
back in the day, like at the time when they're free agents before they signed.
Brady Quinn.
Well, no, he was He was at best. Maybe not. He was fragile.
He was better than Johnson, though.
Well, all right, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Okay. I would have to take a look at the history of teams, but seemingly, I can't forget Jameis Winston when he went down in Tampa. When him and Ryan Fitzpatrick went down in Tampa, guess who was there to save the J? Josh Johnson. That's right, baby.
Not save the day. Here I come to wreck your day.
No, here he comes to get a check. All right, veteran minimum. All right.
Hey, he's got Sam Bradford's agent, so he's getting these contracts. I'm honestly surprised Sam Bradford didn't somehow end up on the 49ers after that game.
Listen, my man is the king of the NFL minimum. That's what they needed. That's his name, NFL minimum. And you think about it, because the NFL minimum rate, they got to pay him $2 million a year every time he shows up.
Because he's a quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, 2-point-some million. He shows up. He's a backup. You got to pay him $2 million. What? Yeah, he's a backup quarterback.
He's a 15-year quarterback.
Yeah, veteran. Got to pay him. You got to fucking pay him.
Anyway, so we all know the Communists are a better team with Tyler Heineke as their starting quarterback, and I'm glad they finally made Mr. Heineke the full-time starter.
Yes.
But after they do that, he ties with the Giants.
To be fair, this was a defensive stalwart of a fucking game. Like
it's like the second time this season Washington's defense has actually showed up.
This was Big E's dream, because it was big meaty men slapping meat on them line. Okay.
Is Chase Young still out?
Huh?
Is Chase Young still out?
Yes, he is still out. I think he's got 1 or 2 more games before he
It's
comes
all
back.
about Keith. It's all about Mr. Keith Sweat. I don't know his first name, but Mr. Sweat, huh?
Yeah, Sweat. The thing about it is this. I didn't predict the tie at all. Obviously, I picked the Giants because I said the Giants and the Jets are going to win. Because seemingly, if I have to pick the Jets, I have to pick the Giants and vice versa. I didn't expect this bullshit to happen this fucking tie. This was bullshit. Mainly because did they miss a field goal at the last minute? They drove down.
Some shit.
Some
It
dumb
was
shit
a lot of fuckery. A lot of fuckery going on that day.
A lot of fuckery, a lot of bullshit. That seems to be the MO for all these teams. Apparently, that just seems to be the deal. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna go to the next game.
No, go ahead. I'm with you though. I'm just like I said last week. I'm super glad that Taylor Heineke is the starting quarterback now. I'm absolutely fucking ecstatic that he is. He showed over the
last 3 years that he has earned that position.
Yes. So with that said, I'm hoping that the entire NFC East makes the playoffs, just as a big fuck you to the rest of the fucking NFC. I'm just saying.
Right. So how would you feel if you injured Lamar Jackson, you were up the whole game, and then you lost to his backup? Like the Denver Broncos did in their shitty defense, no offense, having ass in that. Well, their fantastic defense, no offense, having ass team that they are.
Exactly. So back to what I said about this fucking stupid ass fucking team, the Denver Broncos. I said last week, they will stop you from doing everything that you want to do, except they can't start themselves to do anything that they want to do. Okay, that's what it is. They're a tank with no engine. All right, that's what they are. They're a tank with no engine.
You know what they are?
What?
You know what they are?
What?
They are 2000s parents. No, you can't have that. No. Oh, yes, you can. No, never mind. That's what they are.
They're the bully that tells you what to do, but then when they actually get home and get an opportunity to do something, they get bullied on the other end because they don't have the balls to stand up for their own selves. That is the Denver Broncos in a nutshell. And I'm honestly can say it's not Russell Wilson's fault.
No, there needs to be a hashtag out there. Fire this dumbass coach.
Oh yeah, definitely. With all the coaches that are out there now you definitely can fire this man immediately.
Nathaniel Hackett, is that his name?
Yes.
Nathaniel
can't hack it. That's what it
no,
is.
He can't hack it, and the motherfucker just can't coach. Oh, he was Aaron Rodgers' coach. Yes, that's Aaron Rodgers. He's a piece of shit, but he's a fucking great quarterback.
Yeah. And you see Russell Wilson out there running like Aaron Rodgers for his life because the O-line can't protect his fucking ass.
Russell just keeps on remembering that he's not in Seattle, but he's not doing the same thing in Seattle.
Yeah.
But the biggest difference here is half the team don't like him.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all fine and dandy, right? At the end of the day, you cannot like Russell Wilson, but it is not Russell Wilson's fault that you've had these problems. The Broncos have been anemic offensively for the last, well, not just all year now.
Well, no, this is the epicenter. This is the worst.
This is the worst. But they've literally been awful offensively for years. They haven't. Unfortunately, I'll even state this: the last really good offensive, quarterback that they had was not Peyton Manning's last year there, where he won the Super Bowl, but the year before that.
You talking about Osweiler?
No, Peyton Manning, because Osweiler was there during that year.
The year they won the Super Bowl, because Osweiler carried the team in the defense, and then they let Peyton Manning start the Super Bowl.
Exactly, and that broke Osweiler forever because he wasn't worth shit after that. It was to the point where Osweiler was on the Texans. He played bad enough to
traded him back to Denver.
Yeah, they traded him back to Denver. They kept Osweiler.
Hey, you go. Go home.
They said they just basically they told that man, you said, we don't even want to look at you. We're gonna pay you. I don't want to see your fucking face on here though. Get the fuck out of my room. Just go. We'll figure out what to do with you as long as we can find a team with enough cap space to pay the stupid contract that we gave you.
And then John Elway was like, "Oh, that's my tall, white, blue-eyed boy. Come home to daddy. Come here."
And then he plays even worse than he played in fucking Houston.
That's also because Flacco was there, and we all know how Flacco is.
Yes, and they sent him home promptly. It's like, we don't think you need to be playing in the NFL no more. We're gonna send you home.
Bye, Brock.
These Broncos are horrible. I don't know what the fix for it is. That's the worst part. Like, yes, you can exchange the coach.
You get rid of Hackett. Get rid of the O-line coach, because the O-line coach ain't shit either.
No.
You have to get rid of 3 of those offensive linemen, because 3 of them, I think, should have been retired by now.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy actually needs to play a consistent game.
Yeah.
And run routes like he used to in college.
Yeah, you can't have Sutton and Jeudy. How are you as a quarterback? You have Sutton and Jeudy. You have a good tight end. You have maybe the running game. Maybe that's what the problem is. But they just got rid of Melvin Gordon because he wasn't doing shit.
Yeah, they cut Melvin Gordon. Phillips was injured, so they cut him early in the season. They have no running backs.
Which is strange.
They are literally the Seahawks 2 years ago.
Imagine being the team that cut Phillip Lindsay. He was an MVP. Not MVP, but he was the all-pro running back. He had 1,000 yards for you when you were running two running backs. He had 1,000 yards for you. And you say, we're going to cut him. What? Bill O'Brien, is that you? And that's exactly.
Bill O'Brien is friends with John Elway. Leave it alone.
And apparently, Bill O'Brien is friends with everybody. That's what the problem is. That's what this good old boys coaching club is the huge problem.
And not only that, we said it 3 or 4 years ago. John Elway was running this team like he runs his used car business.
Yeah,
that's what he was doing. That's why they're where they're at now is because of what the damage John Elway did over those years.
Mm-hmm.
Is what we have now. And then you think Nathaniel Hackett was the reason that fucking Aaron Rodgers was good. But you forget Aaron Rodgers is double this man's age. Has been in the NFL longer than Nathaniel Hackett's probably been alive.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. We're going to move on. I need to offer an apology to both you and John. I did not think you guys would be able to shut down this Dolphins offense. The very first play, it didn't look good for you boys. Giving up a 75-yard touchdown on the very first play.
Well,
But the Mike Dolphins chose to do what you guys did against the Rams. Yeah, block Nick Bosa. Because it worked for the 49ers won the game when they did not block Aaron Donald. So we're going to let Nick Bosa do things.
Of course. You got consistency. It's consistency. Let's not block the best player on defense. Okay? Yeah, let's not do that. That seems to be too much. Let's not block the best player on their defense and see what happens. It didn't work for us before.
Like I said, it worked for the 49ers against Aaron Donald this year. But we also have a very fragile quarterback who I thought was going to die on some of those hits he took.
Yeah,
Because they knocked Tua Tagovailoa back to his second year in the NFL.
Yeah,
that's how he looked in this game.
Dude, our defense was all over the place in that game. After that touchdown they gave up, they're like, nah, fam. Nah, we're not doing this.
They're like, nah. And I was because me and John were texting, I was like, bro, that's not a good start for y'all. He's like, man, I'm worried about this game. And yes, all 49er fans should have been worried about this game because of what Miami has done this year. And then when Jimmy G got hurt, I know it was just like, fuck. Because now we just got Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft, behind him, and we don't have any other quarterbacks now.
Well, this
kid stepped in, only made one bad play, which was the interception.
Yeah.
But he played a solid 47 minutes of football. He let his offensive playmakers, CMC, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, let those guys do their thing and let that defense say, you know what, Miami? Fuck you, fuck your coach. Fuck you guys. You are not as good as we are. That is what the 49ers did in this game.
So I will tell you, it was when I looked at all the plays and everything and the play calling after the game was ran, I could honestly tell you what I think happened. So Kyle Shanahan is known as one of the best running game coaches in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you have a backup quarterback, which in this case, like the worst case scenario of a backup quarterback, at least on paper, which is Mr. Irrelevant. Like this dude is like the one who
actually gets a jersey that says Mr. The one who actually gets a jersey that says Mr. Irrelevant on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when you look at it from that perspective, right? When you're a coach on the thing, you're like, okay, we know that that Shanahan is a running coach, and he's probably gonna run this shit down our fucking throats. So we need to make sure that he does it and let them beat us with Brock Purdy. The problem is that he did because Shanahan probably predicted that, was like, okay, Brock, I need to see what you can fucking do. All right. And sure enough.
But when you have talent around him like Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Jennings, Kittle, when you have this group and a decent offensive line, with the exception of McGlinchey, you have this group, Kyle Shanahan can feel comfortable in any quarterback that's back there. Because if you can't get the ball downfield, CMC, Debo, Ayuk, right there. Bop, bop, bop. Kittle on the side. Kittle over the middle. Bop, bop, bop. And that's exactly what it was.
And he wasn't afraid to throw down a throat because Miami was expecting run. Like, they expected everything to convert to run, and they were trying to they weren't stacking the box like that, but they were playing really close to the line for the majority of the game. They were making sure that Christian McCaffrey couldn't beat them. But what then happened is once Brock Purdy started getting a roll going, it started passing it started getting completion. They're like, oh shit, the game plan where we injured Jimmy G and they had the run, we got to throw that out the window. Now we have a quarterback that we have absolutely no film on. What the fuck are we going to do? And the answer is absolutely nothing. Because then that's when Shanahan was like, I got your bitch asses now. I
have another hashtag to put out there too regarding this game.
What?
Hashtag drug test Debo Samuel.
No, you will not drug test Debo Samuel. I gave him some of my finest drugs. I mean,
there's that one play. He was in the backfield. Purdy just shoveled it to him. There were 5 fucking Dolphins on him, and somehow he got 10 yards out of it when he was 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage when the 5 Dolphins hit him. Somehow he got 10 yards out of the fucking play. Drug test Debo Samuels.
No, we are not drug testing Debo, okay? Leave Debo alone. Damn. Trying to get us caught up in shit.
And Christian McCaffrey, now I'm going to say for a white boy, Christian McCaffrey got the smoothest juke in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Because he doesn't even lose speed when he fucking cuts either.
The crazy part, he's been doing that shit for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like dude, he's been literally doing this shit.
He played for Carolina, so nobody paid attention.
Well, I mean, they didn't pay attention after Cam Newton left. We knew how good he was.
Oh yeah, and he was always getting hurt.
Yeah.
And I told you when this trade happened, they was, it's a bad trade for the 49ers. I'm going to say this again. It was not a bad trade for the 49ers because Christian McCaffrey does not have to carry this offense.
Nope. Shanahan got too many playmakers for them to have to worry about all that.
Debo and Kittle can each take a game out of McCaffrey's hands.
No, easily. But now with Brock Purdy, in which we're going to have a discussion about that when we get to the game this week.
Yeah, because he does have. There's an interesting challenge coming up this week.
Yeah, but the one thing I like about Brock Purdy is that he has absolutely, to me, out of all the rookies in the NFL, a pair of the biggest balls in the NFL.
Oh, no, he stood there and took some fucking shots. He was not afraid.
Did you hear his did you hear his backstory? Well, yes, he was Mr. Irrelevant, but that's not the biggest thing. You know, he got offered a full scholarship to Alabama. They wanted him. They wanted him over not Mac Jones, who's there now. Who's the guy that was after Mac?
Was it Hurts?
No, it was before.
No, Hurts was right before Mac.
Remember
the quarterback room was Tua, Jalen, and Mac.
Yeah. So after they all graduated, he got offered,
kid from last year. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. So either way, they got offered the full ride scholarship. He turned down the Alabama scholarship to go to Iowa State because Iowa State promised that he was going to be a starter and he was all 4 years. He has every school passing record in Iowa State, which is weird because, as you know, Iowa State is not a passing school. Yeah. Remember Seneca Wallace. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. That is all.
All right. So next up, we had the Seahawks picking the bones of the Rams.
Yes. Which we already knew that was going to happen. There's not much to elaborate. Geno Smith is number 2 in the MVP voting. That's the only thing that the takeaway that I have in this one right now. Behind Patrick Mahomes. I thought that
no, it's actually Josh Allen, Mahomes, and then what's his name?
Well,
Josh Allen is pulled ahead in the MVP voting.
Well, Josh Allen should not. And I have a case for Josh Allen not being the MVP. And I made the case for it last week when Mickey was on the
he's playing with a bum elbow and still playing at a very high level, so I think he has a case of being the MVP.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I know your story is with Patrick that he's not playing with anybody, but he still has Kelsey, he still has Juju, he still has weapons there.
Well, I think Geno Smith should be the MVP. If the Seahawks make the playoffs,
no, I think it's a shoo-in for comeback player of the year.
Nah, fuck that. MVP. If the Seahawks make the playoffs, which I don't want to happen, but if they do, Geno Smith for MVP. That's all I'm gonna say. Listen, and you know me, we've roasted Geno Smith for years on this show. Years. There's at least 1 or 2 Geno Smith roasts per season on the Overtime Sports Show.
Since he got drafted by the Jets, and then, just all went downhill from there.
I promise you can go back to the archive, see if you can do verbal searches for the words Geno and Smith. There's at least 1 or 2 per season, guaranteed.
I think the only positive thing I've ever said about him, and it was when he was out of the league for like 2 years, I said I trusted him more than Jay Cutler.
There you go. And that's it. But now, listen, if I don't know what it is. I guess, do you give Pete Carroll Coach of the Year at that point? No, resurrecting Geno Smith?
I think you get the offensive coordinator Coach of the Year because he's just running the same playbook he's ran for the last 4 seasons, and Geno's just like, all right, cool, I ain't got to change shit. Let's go.
Listen, Geno, can you do this? Boy, can I?
He's like, I've been doing it every time Russell gets hurt. Let's go. You know
Boy, can I?
Boy, can I? As long as that Drew Lock doesn't get on the field, let's go.
Let's fucking go.
So next up, we have, again, I mentioned this earlier before we picked the game tonight. Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs is making Josh McDaniels look like a fool for not signing his 5th-year option.
Yeah.
Because over these last 5 games, Josh Jacobs has just tortured defenses.
He's pissed.
They haven't won all the games, but personally, that dude's just been killing people.
He's pissed. You know what? Just let the man have all his touchdowns. Whatever yards and touchdowns, when he gets the ball, just let him have it. Just let him go because he's playing like he's playing like chip on the shoulder Derrick Henry from last year.
And
you know what I'm saying?
What's happening with that is defenses now have to worry about the run, and they leave Devontae Adams wide the fuck open.
And that's exactly what's the fuck's been happening with no qualms, no alternate suggestions or anything. That's exactly.
And at this point, I don't even think Josh McDaniels is calling plays anymore. He's just like, hey, hand it to Josh until the defense stacks up the line and just go to the top to Devontae.
Yep.
That's what it is right now. He has him and the coach of the Dolphins have the easiest play calls right now. You got the fucking offense in Miami, and you got the keep running Josh until they pack the lines, then you go deep to Devontae because nobody's covering Devontae downfield.
Nope.
All right, so I know our boy Mickey was on the show last week.
Yes.
I know our boy Mickey is a Chiefs fan.
Mm-hmm.
So Mickey, if you're watching this, if you turn into this to just watch the replay, my friend, how does it feel to lose to the Bengals 3 times in a row, all in 2022?
Jesus Christ.
You know I love you, Mickey. I love you. And I know, and I had to say that shit because he shouted me out when he was making comments.
Yeah.
He's like, Big Sid is my dude. But no, I gotta ask. You've lost to this team 3 times in the same year.
I mean, to be fair,
Joe Burrow has never lost to Patrick Mahomes. That's where we're at right now.
To be fair, I kind of saw this coming. If you saw the episode,
we both picked the Chiefs.
Yeah, I know we both picked the Chiefs. I know we did, but I saw this coming because we don't normally both pick the Chiefs. That's kind of what this is.
You're not fucking wrong.
That was the problem. We both picked them, and when
Joe Burrow was watching the show like, oh, word?
Yeah,
I'm getting Chase back. I'm getting this back. You gonna pick? And Perrine's been showing up. Y'all fools.
That's when our former coach Robert Saleh comes in. I'm getting receipts. And then they leave.
The man who you predicted to go 0-17 this year. Yes. All right. I do not know what the fuck happened here. The Cowboys were up by 4 in the fourth quarter with like 10 minutes left, and then they won by 50. Jeff Saturday, have a nice vacation. You're probably going to lose whatever job this is you have.
Listen, it wasn't his fault as much as it was his fault.
They gave up like 40 points in 10 minutes.
It wasn't his fault as much as it was his fault. I mean, when you look at it on paper, it wasn't his fault. But in reality, boy, this was all on him.
If I was in the media scrum, I would say, Jeff Saturday, you had a great 3 quarters and 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What happened in that last 10?
See, what happened was...
What happened was the playbook that Sinful Black told me to use when I first came here and talk shit about me, it ain't working no more.
No, it ain't working. We're using the backyard football playbook. It's not working.
It hasn't worked since they beat the Raiders.
No, because the Raiders weren't expecting it. Now that there's film on it, they know how to counteract it. Okay, you can win one game.
Every time a player runs by, they look down and suggest Saturday and see the play drawn out in the dirt.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, they're calling Darling Picky. Remember that? Darling Picky. Oh, I remember that from 11th grade. That's what they're calling, cuz. All right, we know how to defend that shit.
So, yeah, the Cowboys mollywopped the Colts like they needed to be mollywopped.
They didn't deserve that. I mean, they deserved it, but they didn't deserve that. God
so,
damn.
I have a very serious question to ask you.
Yeah, yes.
Monday Night Football, when the New Orleans Saints were up by 10 with 3 minutes to go, did you have any doubts that the Buccaneers were not going to win that game?
No.
For whatever reason, I was just like, Buccaneers are still going to win this game.
The Saints, listen. The Saints, and I want this quoted for future reference. And you probably know what I'm probably going to say, because it's really just a very simple statement. The Saints aren't a good football team, okay? They're not. I'm sorry. If you're a Saints fan, the last few years without Drew Brees has been rough for you, and I'm sorry. Okay, it's been a long road. All right,
It's been a lonely road, the only road that they will ever know.
and it's not getting good. And they're probably not starting Jameis Winston because they know Jameis Winston can win them games. So they put in Andy Dalton, who, for all intents and purposes, won one or two games?
Andy's won 4 this year.
No, because
Yeah,
all the Saints have won is 4 games, and Jameis.
Yeah, he's won all 4. He's won all 4 of those games.
No, Jameis Winston. They won like the first. Jameis Winston.
No, remember Jameis got hurt in the first game. That's when we found out Andy Dalton was on the Saints.
No, he got hurt like the 3rd game. Hold on. We need clarification, okay?
So while
you're getting that, you talk about. While you talk about it.
So we saw remnants of old Julio Jones in his game, especially in that last 3 minutes of the game where he snatched that ball right out of the fucking air.
Mm-hmm.
But no, there was never a doubt in my mind, even being down 10 with 3 minutes to go. Tom Brady went on a 10-play drive and 11-play drive in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
And has beat a team 4 times in a row that he did not beat his first season there.
Yes, that is true. So to answer Big Sin's question, okay. So I guess the first win that they had against the Chargers, it would count as a Jameis Winston victory because he started the game, went 4 for 4 for 59, got hurt. Andy Dalton came in, went 5 for 5, he got hurt, and some guy named Isaiah Book.
Oh yeah, because Taysom Hill was still hurt.
Yes, Taysom Hill was still hurt. Some guy named Isaiah Book.
So that's either Jameis or fucking Dalton. That's Isaiah Book's win, sir.
He went 11 of 15. Yes. But the game was already out of hand.
No,
the second quarter.
No, he threw and had more passing completions than Andy and Jameis combined. That guy Book is the winner of that game.
Listen, he was the saver. He was the closer. Okay, Isaiah Book is the closer. And that's how it's going to go.
And that man probably bagging groceries trying to become a Packers receiver right now.
Exactly. So then Jameis beat the Falcons by himself. All right. He did it. He was the victor. And then all of a sudden, Jameis Winston gets A-Town stomped by Tampa Bay. And we didn't hear from him again after that.
And then somehow we found out Andy Dalton was the starting quarterback for the Saints.
Yeah.
Remember our surprise? We had to look that shit up.
Yeah, I'm like, Andy Dalton, we know he's on there. Apparently, he showed up for 4 passes. He went 4 for 4. He got that Wendy's stats, you know what I'm saying, the 4 for 4, before he got his ass knocked out the game.
All right, so that was week 13 in the books. And just so you know, Hollywood, you are now 2 games up on me because when I pick games and I'm not in a good mood, I pick the wrong teams. So you are now 2 games up on me in the standings.
Yay!
But you still chose the Jets to go 0-17, so that automatically gives you an L for the whole season.
Wow, really?
No,
really?
You said that yourself like 3 weeks ago.
Listen, if we end up in a tie, that's the deciding factor is that I picked the Jets to go 0-17. There you go. That's going to be the deciding factor of this whole season. If we end up tying our records, that's the tiebreaker. I picked the Jets to go 0-17, and fuck all ensued after that.
I was like, really, motherfucker? I was your defensive coordinator, homie. Really?
Receipts, nigga. Receipts.
I look like Vin Diesel with a tan. Right?
Receipts.
Right. So we already picked the Raiders for this week. Next up, we got the rolling Vikings against the feisty Lions.
Daytime game. The Giants got a little bit of confidence, a little bit of swagger. Dan Campbell got a little bit of confidence, a little bit of swagger under his belt.
He said the Giants, but
well, you know, the Lions. I'm sorry, the Lions got a little bit of swagger. Dan Campbell's got a little bit of swagger, but the Minnesota's playing in the daytime. That's kind of where I'm at now. The sun's out, guns out,
and they're playing well no matter what time it is. This season they have come through in every time period.
They is excluding Kirk Cousins. Okay,
Kirk Cousins had a big game against New England.
He did, but that was because it turned night too late. That's why. That's why I'm going to excuse that game.
It was 5:00 on Thanksgiving.
The sun went down just ever so slightly early, but it was enough to where Kirk Cousins channeled the sun and its energy and was able to win. Okay, that's what that was. He channeled the sun's energy. It's kind of like how Superman needs the sun in order to charge his powers. That's Kirk Cousins. He needed the sun. He was at full charge and he didn't really have to exert much. Okay, so anyways, that's not the point of this conversation. The point is, we're talking about the Lions and the Vikings. As much as I would love the Lions to win this game, I just don't see that as a possibility. Because if the Lions do win this game, that means they may be in playoff contention, and we can't have that because
we don't want Dan Campbell biting knees in the playoffs, people.
No, because listen, if that happens, there's a problem. It's going to be a huge problem, up to and including because that means they'll be 6-7. All right, they'll be in line for the playoffs. That means we may not be able to get our All NFC East playoff.
It's because the NFC South and the NFC West are both on down years.
Yeah,
this year,
especially the NFC South. Jeez, down year doesn't even.
The
that's
Buccaneers are going to win that division with a 7-10 record.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, that seems to be the case.
And then Tom Brady, and somehow he's going to win the fucking Super Bowl.
Oh my God! Unfortunately, with Brock Purdy quarterbacking, although I love him, it's going to be rough getting to the playoffs because then there's going to be 5 or 6 weeks of tape on him, and yeah, that's going to be fun. All right, so
you taking the Vikings here?
I'm taking the Vikings this one because, like I said, if the Lions win, that means their confidence is going to be through the roof, and yeah.
I am going to go with whatever team you pick here because I don't know what to do here. Lamar Jackson is out for the next 3 weeks. The Baltimore Ravens are playing a Pittsburgh Steelers team who is playing okay at the moment. But they've already labeled Lamar Jackson being out this week and probably the next 2 games. Which means the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win this division.
So here's the thing, okay? So Lamar Jackson's worst nightmare has now come true. So
that he bet on himself and got hurt?
Yeah, but that's not even the worst part about it. Because one thing to bet on yourself and get hurt. Now, the backup quarterback who's actually fairly decent. He's not great, you know what I'm saying? Fairly decent. He can be Lamar Jackson Jr. technically, right? And so now your competition who is built like you, runs the same plays as you, everything else, is now in the game and you're going to have tape on him for the next 3 weeks. Come this offseason, the Ravens are now going to have to make a choice whether they're going to give Lamar Jackson his big payday, like all of it, which is demanding.
Or let the cheap guy who can play like that, let him stay for a while and build up draft capital. Because John Harbaugh's probably gone in the next 3 or 4 years.
Probably 2 or 3, to be dead honest with you. I mean,
I am going to go out on a limb here. I am going to pick the Steelers just because of Mike Tomlin.
I'm picking the. I like chaos. I am a beacon of chaos. I'm going to pick the Ravens to win, but not only the Ravens to win, I'm going to pick their backup to actually have a better game than Lamar Jackson had. Right. And because I need that to happen. I don't think that they'll win the next 2 after that because the next 2 after that are fuck all.
It's Cincinnati and somebody else.
Yeah. If it's Cleveland, I think it's Cincinnati and Cleveland.
I think so. And Cincinnati's finding their swagger right now. So
and there's blood in the water. And there's blood in the water with Lamar Jackson out. The Bengals need to go for the kill shot and they need to win out.
And that was the issue with how Baltimore has been performing this year, blowing those leads in those 4 games, is we all knew Cincinnati was going to find their stride eventually.
Yeah.
And they found their stride before Chase got back, before Jamar Chase got back.
The insane part about that is that if it wasn't for those 4 blown leads, the Ravens would be undefeated.
Yeah. And the worst one of them was the Jacksonville one.
Yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't. They'd be undefeated. They probably could have let Lamar Jackson. They probably could have even, not gone as hard as they did over these last few games. But now, when you're behind the 8 ball like this, and Cincinnati's back in the fucking saddle,
and because everybody's like, because Cincinnati started off 0-2, like, oh, they're just 1 year wonders. No, they had some early season mishaps. That's what the fuck happened with Cincinnati.
Oh yeah.
They found this right. They have found it once they donned those beautiful white outfits, those fucking jerseys. That's when they found their swagger.
Yeah, this is the absolute worst position that Cincinnati could have ever found. I mean, not Cincinnati, the Ravens could have ever find themselves in, because remember we talked about the NFC East. Everybody has a winning record in that division.
Yep.
What is it? In the AFC. I mean, the AFC East. The AFC East. Everybody has a winning record.
Yeah, everybody's 500 above you.
Yep. The AFC West has the Chiefs, but the Raiders have been winning games because of Josh Jacobs. You can't always count out the fucking Chargers under any circumstance.
No, the only team in that division you can count out is the Broncos.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you start losing games at the end of this season and those teams start winning games, because I think all the division games are done for the AFC West. I think maybe one more.
I think maybe one.
I think all those teams have to play the Broncos again, but I think that's it.
Yeah, you got the Chiefs Broncos this week.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think everybody just has to play the Broncos, and I think that's all done. Because I know the Chargers have played the Chiefs twice this year already.
Yep.
The Raiders have played the Chiefs twice already.
Yep.
And of course,
Raiders and Chargers have had twice already too.
Yeah, and that's it. I think it's just the Broncos for each team, and that's it. So now we have that. That's what you got to look at. Okay, so now in the South, yes, you have who's leading the South now.
You have Tennessee just dominating that division.
Yeah, but Tennessee the cracks in Tennessee are now starting to show.
But that's the thing. The cracks, even though the cracks in Tennessee are starting to show, neither of the other 3 teams are good enough to catch up to them.
Oh no, and that's true. But that's what I'm saying though. Like Tennessee is gonna probably back into the playoffs if you're at this point, because without a GM, I mean they got an interim GM, fine, whatever the case may be. Okay.
I think they said they're gonna let Vrabel start doing the GM stuff.
And I think that's probably, I think they're not good enough to win 2 playoff games right now. Not with the current competition. Like if the playoffs started now, the teams that would be in, they're not good enough to win 2 playoff games.
They would get washed by Buffalo, Kansas City, and Cincinnati.
They'll win 1 because they'll be at home for the first one, but they're not winning the second one if they got to go against a Buffalo or a Kansas City, or even at this point, any of the
Dolphins, Jets,
Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyone's the ones that have the day off, the week off. So that leaves Dolphins and fucking Ravens or fucking Kansas City. They can't beat those teams right now. Because they don't have a number 1 receiver. They just have Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry, and it's going to cost them in the long run.
So next up, so you got the Ravens, I got the Steelers.
Yeah.
Next up, it might be a bad day for Deshaun, because Deshaun is going to Cincinnati to play the Bengals at home.
So I don't know I don't know how many massage parlors that do happy endings there are in Cincinnati. We'll have to look that up. Like a hand job per capita. Okay, we got to get that stat. I forgot to look that up this season.
But Hollywood Joe, what the fuck is that? Joe Burrow has found his swagger. He stay. The Bengals win this game.
Yeah, you know what? This is going to be an offensive shootout. The Bengals aren't great. So they're not facing a team that's really good, stalwart defensive wise. Although, to be fair, the Texans weren't either. But I think the jitters are gone at this point. You got to at least think that the jitters are gone now. You had your 1 game. You're nervous. Maybe it's because you're on the road. Who fucking knows? But at the end of the day, I still think that Cincinnati was going to win this game. I don't doubt that they're going to win this game. Because they have to. It's not really because, again, blood's in the water now. They see this is their opportunity. They got 3 games to make the most of this, to catch back up and take over this division. And if they don't,
it's like they got a taste of the Super Bowl last year and almost had it.
Yeah, they are the AFC. Let's not sugarcoat shit. They are the AFC champions. You know what I'm saying? And I feel as if you have to go through them in order to win this division. I you know what I'm saying? I still fully think that without a doubt. Which means that's why I'm picking them to win, because they need this is the statement game. It's not about winning, it's about sending a message. That especially they have to win this game. And they have to win the next two after that.
That's a great segue, because speaking of sending a message, this team needs to send a message to one of its division counterparts for beating them earlier this year. The New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. The Jets need to make a statement. I mean, the Bills need to make a statement here.
Oh, yeah. The Bills got embarrassed by the Jets earlier this year.
And that was after the Jets came off of getting beat the shit out of by the Patriots.
This they got embarrassed. That wasn't a win. That was an embarrassment. And but to be fair, they didn't have Stephon Diggs that game. Okay, we knew that.
And I said, Josh Allen's elbow was a little funky.
Yeah, and I said that was going to be a problem, which is why we both picked the Jets that game. Like, it was kind of one of those things that everything lined up the way that it was supposed to. That's not the case this time. They got Stephon Diggs. But Josh Allen is going to need to put in an MVP performance that extends outside Stephon Diggs in order to look at as an MVP, but two, in order to beat the Jets.
Bro,
you didn't have Diggs.
He honestly needs to play like you played against New England last week.
There you go. Or just like you played against every team except the Jets. I mean, he need that. But that's a tall order considering the Jets are still really good defensively. But what do you think about my man?
Hold on. The Jets are really good defensively unless they're playing the Patriots.
Yeah, that is also true. So what do you think about my man Mike Flight White, as I like to call him? Okay.
I think, so we talked about it. Zach Wilson probably fucked up his career in New York by blaming the defenses, the head coach, who is a defensive genius, by blaming his defense for only giving up 10 points when you had 2.7 inches a yard on offense in the second half against the Patriots team.
I didn't let my coach down. What are you talking about? We didn't let.
We didn't let the defense down. The offense was fine. You had 10 yards in the fucking. You had negative 21 passing yards in the second half, sir.
We didn't let him down. Okay.
No, you let the milks you like to bang. You let them down.
You let America.
You couldn't get it up in the second half. Anyway, I got the Bills. I think I like Mike White. He always gives them a fighting chance. I liked him last year because he gave him a fighting chance. I got the Bills here.
All right, so I'm going to take the Bills at full strength. The Bills at full strength are a dangerous fucking team.
They're scary as shit.
Yeah, so I will take it. And that Bills defense is going to have Mike White to play around with.
Tired from playing the blame game.
That's right. They're tired from playing the blame game, okay? So, yes. So, Zach Wilson is out for 3 to 6 weeks because he's tired of playing the blame.
He's like, what? Our defense should have gave up our special teams should have gave up a touchdown. Negative 21 passing yards, dickhead. Go to your room.
You were a bad boy, sir. Just sit the bench. Sit the pine, sir. Matter of fact, you're the new water boy.
And next up, this will probably be another ass whooping coming from the Cowboys as the Houston Texans go into Jerry World.
Oh, no. Davis Mills is back in the saddle. They gave Davis Mills his job back because the alternative was much, much, much worse, okay? He was probably going to share the hand job secrets from the executives. They're like, no, Davis, you can get back in there. You're our champion, okay?
Davis walked in the meeting post-game like, hey, didn't you tell me to give you guys Deshaun's people's numbers? Hold up.
Whoa.
So that's why they're like, Davis. Oh, they're like, because Deshaun wants to come back to Houston. Oh, shit, my boy Deshaun. Davis should not play.
He gave me that girl Tuki's number. Ooh, she know how to do this.
Ooh, Tuki Tukes.
She can do this, ladies and gentlemen.
I am predicting another blowout win by the Cowboys here. The Cowboys are going to lose in the first round of the playoffs, but I'm saying they're going to blow out the Texans.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout, although I do think it's going to be a blowout. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, okay?
The only blowout's going to be in a handkerchief.
It's going to be like 37-13. And there you go. 37-13. That's not a blowout. A blowout would be A shut. Well, okay, it's not going to be a shutout. It's going to be a blowout. All right, that's what it is. All right, be fair enough. Blowout. Cowboys win. All right, let's go.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Tell Amy she's fired.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up we have an NFC East matchup with the Eagles and the Ignats, the Giants.
I'm sorry. Didn't the Giants beat the Eagles earlier this year in a surprise? No, the Eagles only have one loss. And who's that one loss against?
A bad team.
I thought it was the Commodores.
Yep.
That's right. They're not a bad team. Not with Taylor Heineke playing. If you would have said Carson Wentz, then yeah, they're a bad team. So that's how much we hate Carson Wentz. So I got a question now. So peep game. I just really thought about this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How come all these quarterbacks from these Division I AA schools are fragile as fuck? And hear me out. Hear me out, okay? Carson Wentz, he has a resume of fragility that cannot be denied.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Just absolute the shits. Trey Lance, okay? Second or third time he gets hit, they destroy his fucking knee and shred that shit to bits. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
There's a third quarterback. We were just talking about him. But he was another Division I AA quarterback, and this absolute shit. And the hilarious part about it is that, if I remember correctly, Wentz and Trey Lance went to the same college, North Dakota State or whatever the fuck, Dakota, whatever.
Yep.
So, has this year kind of like proven that these Division I AA schools, you can't really trust them in like high profile quarterback positions? Not saying like running back or receiver, because there's still one AA players playing.
Yeah, no, I was going to say because Josh Allen was a 1AA.
No, Josh Allen played for Wyoming. That's Division 1A.
Oh, yeah.
And that's actually in the same division that UNLV is in, where he kicked UNLV's ass.
That's why I thought they were. That's why I thought they were Division A, because they played in the division with UNLV.
They're not gonna make even more rules. They'll just be like, let's not draft quarterbacks from bougie state university, okay, or fucking the School of Hard Knocks, fucking Northern Delaware State, Dover. You know what I'm saying? That no, we can't. That's not gonna work. The university. The Eastern University of Northern Southwest Florida. Just avoid that altogether. Rollins College, just avoid that. DeVry University, no, you can't be drafted there either. Just avoid. If there's more than one letter after the Division I, just don't draft them at quarterback. Any other position's fine. Receivers, tight ends, you know what I'm saying? Offensive linemen. Even offensive linemen have actually had a really good track record from 1AA schools. But apparently they can't get those same O linemen over to the same teams as the Division I AA quarterbacks. I don't know why. Just don't. We're not going to draft it. We can't because they're fragile. They can't take a fucking hit. Fucking Trevor Lawrence got knocked into oblivion. Okay? He got knocked back into college with Dabo Swinney and he came back the same game. All right? Fucking Tua, he got hit. He went into convulsions and palpitations and shit. You know what I'm saying? He tried to get back up and play. Fucking Carson Wentz gets fucking poked in the eye and somehow he's got his fucking ribs broken again for the 9th time. I can't say Trey Lance because we saw his knee go through the fucking shredder, okay? Like when he got hit. So no, we're not going to do this anymore.
Hold on. You know the one injury thing that I just want to say about this before you pick your winner between the Eagles and the Giants?
Yeah.
Is let's not forget, and it's not a quarterback, Michael Thomas, the all-pro wide receiver on the New Orleans Saints, stubbed his toe in week 1 and has not played a game since, but a guy who got shot twice is leading the Commodores running backs.
Listen, to be fair, and I 100% agree with you, but to be fair, Deion Sanders retired because of turf toe.
But Deion never tackled anybody, so it didn't matter.
He had to run. That's his thing. If you can't run, what good are you as a fucking corner? I mean, I'm just saying, and it was the same turf toe that he had to basically have damn near amputated as a fucking adult.
So I'm picking the Eagles in this game.
So am I. I'm picking the Eagles. I'm picking the Eagles because I don't see the Giants beating them. There's not a situation because the Eagles are just that good. I asked early in the season, what are the Eagles doing to win games? And apparently it's everything. They do a little bit of everything just good enough to where you can't counter everything unless you're the Commodores or the.
And Jalen Hurts has just enough balls to do stuff.
Yeah. What it is. Hey, Alabama QBs are winning in the NFL. That's all I can say. They're winning, even if you only play for Alabama part-time. You're winning nowadays.
Mac took the Patriots to the playoffs his rookie year. Tua's looking at the playoffs this year. And Jalen Hurts is leading the division.
There it is.
Actually, leading the NFL.
There it is.
Why is no one talking about Jalen Hurts for MVP?
Because while he's been good, he's not even the number one quarterback in the league right now. He's not even the number one quarterback in his conference right now, unfortunately. But that's the reason why. Because if you got to compare it to everybody else, the stat to stat, then that's what you're looking at. Tua has better numbers, but also remember Tua has Tyreek Hill. That's not fair, okay?
And Jalen Waddle.
And he's got Waddle. And he's got like 9 running backs from the former 49ers. It's just, you know what I'm saying? He's got that. So
right. We have the makings of one of those weird AFC South upsets. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Titans.
Oh, not this game again.
You know what? I'm gonna do it before you say it. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars just because chaos.
Is what you call him okay though? Is what's his name okay? Is he injured? That's where I would need to know before I can make my decision.
He came back. He played the whole second half last week.
I know, but are they like, oh, he's still alive? Like, is he okay?
Let me check Trevor Lawrence's vitals. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I need to know. Check his vitals. You know what I'm saying? Check the vitals. Let me know if he doesn't have an injury designation, then I might have to ride with you on that Jaguars pick. But if he has any kind of, you know what I'm saying, if he's like questionable or doubtful or some shit, then nah, the fucking Jaguars are gonna get fucking rocked.
Game time decision. The only day of practice he missed this week was today.
Okay, so
it looks like he's playing from that.
All right, so with that said, I am picking the Jaguars because not only chaos, but the Jaguars are beacons of said chaos.
They're a little feisty this year.
This is slightly, just slightly. I'm picking the Jags in this one. I'm wrong with you on that one.
So I know this one is going to be a unanimous pick for one team, and it's the away team. So we're going to just talk about this for 5 total seconds. The Kansas City Chiefs are about to beat the brakes off the Broncos.
I don't know about beat the brakes, but that is a win.
I'm talking about the defense beating the brakes off the offense.
Oh, no. I fully expect Russell Wilson to give up the ball like 9 times. 5 interceptions, 4 fumbles. Damn, I know it's fucked up, ain't it? And not because Kansas City's defense is good, because they're not.
And people always wondered why he was never in the talks for MVP.
Listen, it's not because Kansas City's defense is good. It's just that Nathaniel's offense is that bad. He's made Russell Wilson look like Nathan Peterman. Yeah, I said it.
I think Nathan Peterman could put up points against the Chiefs because he can actually get the ball downfield.
He can put up points against the Chiefs. He can put up points against the Chiefs, but not on the Broncos. The Broncos' offense is that bad. The Spectre. Listen, this is. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. And whatever your faith is, whether you believe in God or the flying spaghetti monster, Muhammad, whatever the fuck you believe in, okay? I fully believe that God has smited the Denver Broncos ever since they kicked him off the team and went with Peyton Manning. Okay?
Tim Tebow.
I fully think that, all right? I swear. And people think that I'm weird for saying this shit. But let's look at it. So Peyton Manning went from being fucking great the first year, right?
Yep.
First year in Denver, went from being absolutely fucking great, but that greatness was absolutely shut down by the fucking Seattle Seahawks. Okay, then he had a shit year. No, he had a decent year, but barely made it out the first round.
Yeah, because he couldn't feel his neck or his arm.
No. Then the third year, the defense was so fucking good.
The defense and nobody knew who Brock Osweiler was.
The defense and Brock Osweiler were so good, and I think Brock Osweiler got cursed in proxy because of it.
Are you trying to say Peyton Manning is the entity of evil?
No, I'm saying that Tim Tebow has a relationship with God so well that the moment that he got kicked off of the Broncos, right, and the way that they did him, it's not what they did, it's how they did it. All right, they smited him in such a way. I mean, they did Tim Tebow in such a way. God has smited the Denver Broncos. You got what you wanted with your Super Bowl win, but at what cost? Everything.
You know what makes me laugh about that?
What?
If you put together the timeline,
yes,
that happened. So Tim Tebow got his ass whooped by the Patriots.
Uh-huh.
And then Tim Tebow was signed to the Patriots. Was that Bill Belichick being like, all right, God, we good. We got your boy for a couple of games.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got your boy.
He said tag team cursing. That's right. God and Jesus like, we got this. By our powers combined, I am smiting the shit out the Broncos for the rest of eternity. Okay? Until John Elway comes to heaven and apologizes to us directly. All right? That's how long this is going to be. John Elway is going to have to die and apologize directly to God and Jesus when he gets up there. And they want their apology. They need a 10-page statement in apologies. They need it. They don't blame Peyton Manning. No, they didn't blame Peyton, but they sure made sure that he got what he deserved. Okay, they did that. Brock Osweiler, oh, you won games for the Denver Broncos? Bet. All right, it smited his fucking ass. Ended his career in 3 years. 3 years. 3. After having one of the best seasons of a fucking rookie first-year player.
He said right in 1,000 times.
Right 1,000 times on the heavenly chalkboard. Okay, they destroyed Brock Osweiler's life. Okay, and that's fucked up. Okay, they made sure Peyton Manning, the defense had to drag him to a victory. Okay, literally drag him to a victory. He threw a 10-yard bounce pass in the Super Bowl. Oh, we don't want to talk about that. Jeff George was like, that's good technique. Fuck.
All right.
No, I'm not done yet. I'm not done. Okay?
Okay.
So this is how this is going to be for a while. So if you are a Denver Broncos fan, okay, there's no amount of prayers that are going to save you. There's no, I don't care what your relationship is with God right now. Tim Tebow's relationship with God is much stronger. Much, much stronger. Tim Tebow is probably a prophet of some sort, and we're not listening because everybody's like, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to deal with the religious shit. You've seen it firsthand for a whole entire season. You saw it. Okay? Do not doubt God's relationship with Tim Tebow. We literally saw it. It just so happens that Bill Belichick is fucking Ragnarok. All right? That's why that he's a different type of religion. He is the end of all.
All right. We are stopping this conversation here.
Oh, you want to deny it?
No.
Okay.
We have 4 games to pick still.
All right. All I'm saying is this is going to be this way for a long time, Broncos fans. Get used to it until John Elway dies. The end. Okay? The end.
So, all right. The next match.
And you're laughing because you know it's true. You know it's true in your heart of hearts. Everything I just said is true.
The next matchup the away team gave a chance to a former Browns quarterback and then cut him unceremoniously last week, taking on a team that has an MVP caliber quarterback who we made fun of for 5 years. The Carolina Panthers at the Seattle Seahawks.
Geno Smith is gonna keep going with his MVP reign. He wants the title. He said, "You will vote for me and you will like it." All right.
He's like, "I'm better than Russell. Russell never got a vote."
Tua, and I'm gonna put it this way: if you would have told me 2 years ago that Tua and Geno Smith will be number one in their respective conferences for the Pro Bowl, would you have believed me?
Oh hell no!
Hell no! I wouldn't have believed me. All right. So that's
Geno is damn near out of the league.
Exactly. Geno Smith was a third stringer on his way out 3 years ago. Okay, Tua was a rookie who was still being questioned as whether he was the future or not because Ryan Fitzpatrick was playing better than him. Ryan Patrick was MJF. He was better than him, and he knows it. Okay, so
Ryan Fitzpatrick is truly the salt of the earth. Okay,
yeah, he is absolutely. So
did you know Ryan Fitzpatrick got a tattoo of Josh Allen on him?
What?
So you remember last year in the playoff game when Ryan Fitzpatrick was shirtless in the snow that game?
Yes.
Freaking out in the stands?
Yes.
After that, he went and got a Josh Allen tattoo on his back.
Listen.
And he had his first sit down with Josh Allen, like interview.
Uh-huh.
He had somebody take a picture of it, make a big photograph of it, and he had Josh Allen autograph the fucking picture of the tattoo.
Fucking love Ryan Fitzpatrick. Listen, Ryan Fitzpatrick, I hope that he gets into the Hall of Fame just on the strength of being mildly successful everywhere that he went. Okay,
no, it's like if you base it on his work, he has better shit than some Hall of Famers.
Yeah, he needs to go. Right, I'm voting Ryan Fitzpatrick into the Hall of Fame as a member of the media.
We need to get this channel bigger so we can be members of the media, so we have Hall of Fame votes.
That's right. As members of the media, me and Big Sid are voting Ryan Fitzpatrick into the Hall of Fame when he retires. They're
gonna be like, "What those chaotic motherfuckers do this time?"
Did they vote Ryan Fitzpatrick into the Hall of Fame?
No, and we won't even put Fitzpatrick. We will put Fitzmagic.
Fitzmagic, yes. Did they say Geno Smith is an All-Pro? What the fuck?
Who gave these people fucking passes?
Did you Bill Belichick rename the coaching award the Bill Belichick Lifetime Achievement? What the fuck is wrong with these dudes?
Well, Bill Belichick does have more Super Bowls than probably all the coaches in the NFL combined right now, but anyway.
God damn. You ain't wrong. Fuck.
No, I'm not. That's why his boat's called 7 Rings. All right. We both go with the Seahawks on that one. So this is going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
It's a tough one for me to pick because your guys' defense is so good, but I don't know how your quarterback is going to do or perform against the Tampa Bay Bucs team who have a decent defense.
This was the worst case scenario. I feel bad for Tom Brady because this is going to be the toughest defense.
Oh yeah, he's going to be on his toes this whole fucking game.
This is, but in there lies the secret. I don't think we're going to win because of our offense. Although I would probably say that whatever game plan that he had prior to Jimmy G getting hurt is still on. I fully agree because now he knows that Brock Purdy has the balls to make the throws that he needs to make. And in the worst case scenario, you have just about as savvy, although I hate his ass, of a veteran in the backup in Josh Johnson.
So I'm going to tell you this right now.
Yeah.
The Bucs have a couple of injuries on their offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I am picking the 49ers solely for the defense of this game.
Oh, yeah. That's what it's going to come down to. If they can find a way to bottle up Tom Brady from doing what Tom Brady does, the 49ers are going to win this game.
I think they can because the 49ers defense is actually healthy.
Yeah. And so I have the 49ers in this one. I'm fully on board with the 49ers winning this game.
And I think Tom will make it a game. But
oh, yeah. No
I
doubt.
got the 49ers here.
Yeah. I just think, you got to remember, the defensive coordinator is also the coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so there's a defensive minded coach that's probably going to throw everything that he has against at Brock Purdy.
Oh yeah,
it's just
and he's gonna get to him.
Yeah, it's all about making Brock Purdy make rookie mistakes, not even necessarily bottling up the entire offense as a whole. Because I don't think that they can. They don't have the personnel to out-scheme Shanahan.
Now with Debo, CMC, and Kittle on the field, it's not going to happen.
They don't have the personnel on the other side of the ball. But if they can make Brock Purdy make mistakes, then yes, that's what it's going to come down to. But the defense on the 49ers is good enough to win you a whole game. We've seen it. We've seen it multiple times over the last few years.
They shut down one of the highest scoring offenses in the NFL last week.
That's why I'm thinking the 49ers. It's just they're just that damn good.
Here we go with the segue. That highly talented Dolphins offense got bottled up last week and taken apart. But this week, they get to go to LA and play a team with a very injured defense in the LA Chargers.
This defense has been injured for 13 out of 13 games. The fucking Chargers.
Isn't it funny that I called it at the beginning of the season that J.C. Jackson would not have a good season even when he was healthy in the Chargers? He had one tackle and one tip pass in 6 games.
This is horrible. This is literally the opposite of what we predicted was going to happen. But it's seemingly that every time that we think that the Chargers are going to have a decent year, this shit happens.
It's the Chargers and the Browns. They always do this to us.
Yes. We have said that said the Chargers were going to have middling seasons at times, like the 1 year where like Phillip Rivers last year. Okay, we said that there was going to be a middle season. They were going to make the playoffs. Okay. They probably weren't going to do anything, and that's exactly what happened. They made the playoffs, played against Tom Brady, got their ass kicked by San Diego, or you know what I'm saying, that because they were still in San Diego at the time. So,
but now they got this dog of a quarterback named Justin Herbert, who does a lot of things well. But the defense is not going to be able to stop the Dolphins like the 49ers did last week.
No, not at all. This
might be 70. This might be 70 to 77 by the all said and done.
Listen, if you have the Chargers running back on your team, I would literally just sit him down because he's not going to be involved in the offense.
No,
this is going to be the Keenan Allen. Mike was it Mike Jackson?
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. I say Mike Jackson. Mike Williams show. The Keenan Allen, Mike Williams show. Justin Herbert is probably going to go for 4+. Tua's
just going to throw it downfield to Tyreek and fucking Waddle. That's all he's going to do.
If you want a comparison game, it's going to be the Raiders. the Rams-Chiefs game from 3 years ago. That's a comparison.
And this is on Sunday Night Football too, so they're both looking to put on a show.
Oh yeah. It's the showtime in LA. Calm down. Let's go.
But I got the Dolphins here because their defense is slightly better than the Chargers.
Yes, definitely.
And last but not least, is Kyler Murray still playing Call of Duty?
I think he's already prestiged like 4 times, so he might be actually showing up this game.
But it doesn't matter because the Patriots have shut him down on more than one occasion when they've been across the field from him. So it's the Patriots at Arizona this week.
Nice warm weather to play football in. I think the Patriots...
A pissed off Mac Jones going into this game.
Oh, you mean a pissed off everyone?
Yeah.
You talking about just Mac? You think Mac is just pissed off?
No, I'm saying Mac because he was the most vocal one until, like, during the game. When he got in Patricia's face and told him to throw the fucking ball.
Yeah.
I have not seen Mac Jones show this type of leadership until that game.
Yeah. And I think, you know what, though? God honest, I honestly think that's what Bill Belichick has been waiting for.
For him to just snap?
Well, yeah. Because the Mac Jones that was in Alabama is not the same Mac Jones that has been playing the last year and a half. Or year and...
But we also got to remember, in the beginning of the season, we talked about this. Mac Jones was the only person on the Patriots offense in the top 100 in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. This team goes as their quarterback play goes, okay? That's just what it comes down to. And you can insert any quarterback that you want to. At the end of the day, you're still going to have to win games with a quarterback. They're not the 49ers, which are absolutely bonkers on fucking defense.
No,
they're not.
The Patriots defense is elite.
It's okay.
Except against the run.
So it's not as elite as it was a few years ago. Yes. The Patriots defense a few years ago will shut down every position that you have.
And now we have Matt Judon and Uche just getting to the quarterback every other play.
Yeah, but they only have two weaknesses that's stated, and under fantasy rules, it's under they're really bad against tight ends and they're really bad against running backs.
Yep.
Particularly running backs if you have a dual threat, like a dual-headed running back.
Because their team is built to rush the passer.
Yeah. So with that said, there's not like they're playing a team that has a really good running back. James Conner's okay. He's
okay.
not, you know what I'm saying, the greatest.
And the DeAndre Hopkins Jones matchup should be fun to watch.
Yes. But so now that you've mentioned DeAndre Hopkins, because there was some controversy a couple weeks ago. DeAndre Hopkins got into somebody's face. I think it was Kyler Murray's face. I think it was somewhere around there. And probably was like, why the fuck you
it was shortly before Pat Peterson came out and said Kyler Murray don't give a shit about nobody.
So we have now repeated, documented situations where Kyler Murray has failed to be a leader of this team.
And now Patrick Peterson is saying this now he's on the Vikings, but he was on the Cardinals for almost his whole career before this.
Yeah. And so you have to ask yourself, they just re-signed Kyler Murray to a big-ass contract. That was the whole thing this year. And
the big joke at the beginning of the season was they were putting a curfew on Kyler Murray.
Well, they're making say you got to show up to the damn meetings. You got to watch film. You got to film a minimum film, like a quota, as they say.
And then because all this backlash came against it, they said, "Oh, nope, never mind. We're going to do it. He's a grown man. He can do what he wants."
And now you've seen the fruits of that labor.
Colt McCoy almost has as many passing yards as Kyler Murray does this year.
Yeah. So the question that I have is that now you're coming to a crossroads. Because I think this was a trade for Devontae. And not Devontae. Devontae Adams. This was a trade that they did for Devontae Adams. They didn't resign him to a big-ass contract. DeAndre Hopkins. There was a trade for DeAndre Hopkins.
And yeah, they got him for a bottle of fucking Coke and some Ruffles.
Yeah.
Because Bill O'Brien is the one that made the trade.
But they didn't re-sign the contract. That means he's not signed a new contract. So now we're coming to a crossroads with this now. We've seen the failed AJ Green experiment there because he hasn't done shit.
Him and Kyler were never on the same page.
Never. And because he has barely even gotten balls thrown his way the whole time he was there. DeAndre Hopkins, since coming back from the suspension, has not looked like DeAndre Hopkins. It stands for one game.
Yes, it's only been certain moments that he's actually looked like the guy that he can be.
And I know that he's better than that because I've seen him practice better than that. I've seen him in things getting wide the fuck open. And he still has it. This Kyler Murray's just not seeing him.
But you know what the biggest telling thing that Kyler Murray's not seeing?
What?
You have Zach fucking Ertz on your team and you're not throwing him the ball.
Well, he was earlier this season. And then I don't know what happened after that.
Then Call of Duty came out.
So now the question is that you're going to come to the end of season thing, right? And then you're going to see, and then all these wide receivers talk to each other. You know they do. They're going to ask They're going to ask at the end, DeAndre Hopkins if you want to resign or whatever, and they might franchise him, probably force him to stay for another year, whatever the fuck case may be. I doubt it, but
or he'll sit out for a season.
I would just trade him. I mean, he's at the peak of his career. Mm-hmm. You barely had to trade anything for him. You might as well get something in return now.
Exactly. Let's not let this season, what's going on this season when it comes to DeAndre Hopkins, affect anything. This dude is a top 5 wide receiver in this league every fucking year.
Oh yeah, but now we're now it's we got a Kyler Murray situation now. That Kyler Murray
Kingsbury situation.
That's even worse because it's crazy. Because remember, Josh Rosen. The reason why Josh Rosen is no longer in the NFL anymore is because of Cliff Kingsbury.
Kingsbury came in and drafted Kyler Murray.
Yeah. That's the reason why Josh Rosen never had any success in the NFL. He had the 1 year where he was supposed to be the man, and they never gave him a shot. And
they also gave up the GOAT for Hollywood Brown, who's been injured most of the season.
Yeah,
they didn't. DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep, they didn't resign.
And that's the whole thing that did there. Nobody talks about Larry Fitzgerald. Yeah. He was just not having fun playing football anymore. That's the only reason he retired.
No, because that first year with Kyler, while he showed up. Every time he got the ball, he showed up, did his thing.
Yeah, because it was him and D-Hop.
Yeah. And nothing. No, he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play.
Larry should have signed that contract that the Patriots offered him instead of staying in Arizona.
He wanted to do the trade. They wouldn't do the trade. So what is the future going to hold for Arizona? Because if they continue like this, because typically this is what it's going to be, okay? This Arizona team is exactly what it's going to be for the rest of the year.
Because they're young. They are young. With the exception of their defense, they are relatively young.
Yep. And if they go without DeAndre Hopkins next year, what it looked like for the first half of this season is exactly who the thing, and that's a 2-16.
They're a bottom feeder team.
Yeah. So we went from the Cardinals perhaps being a Super Bowl team 5-6 years ago.
And even the beginning of this year, we talked about they are going to be a problem because they got Zach Ertz.
Yeah. And so are we looking at – we might be looking at an end of an era before it began.
No, you know what I'm going to call it?
What?
And you could turn this to a couple of teams this year. 2022 has been the most disappointing football year when it comes to teams with high expectations.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we just talked about the Chargers.
Like, this whole season, you can look at the Chargers, the Rams.
The Raiders.
Early in the season, the Bengals. You can look at the who else came out? Nobody expected the Giants and the Jets to come out like gangbusters.
No.
Nobody.
No. And even
Eagles,
to a
nobody
point,
expected the Eagles to come out like this.
To a point, even the Patriots, because we predicted the Patriots to take back their division again.
Yes.
And
now we know Buffalo is here for a stay, and they're going to be a problem for a while.
Yeah. I had the Broncos before.
We also thought the Broncos are going to be good because of Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
But let's call a spade here. Maybe Russell Wilson isn't as good as we thought. Maybe it was the play calling and everything in Seattle that made him what he is.
Well, you can look at it on one side. You can look at it both sides. Yes, Russell Wilson. Yes, the play calling, or the quarter. Because keep in mind, what's his name? Pete Carroll could very well be a genius. And although we hate it, I hate his guts. I don't like Pete Carroll at all. I hate his face. And every time I look at him, I just want to punch him in the mouth every time I want to see him. I do. I'm sorry.
I feel the same way because he left USC, where he was getting ready to get fined and all that shit. Ruined the Patriots for a couple years, and then left again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so when you look at it from that perspective, okay, the only way to look at it is, I guess we're going to have to see if Seattle makes the playoffs. I mean, yes, they're good, but we can't sit here and discount DK Metcalf
and Tyler Lockett.
We can't sit here and discount those two. Okay,
they're having ball out seasons.
Now, I will say that they have done a lot with the fact that the Seahawks have lost two running backs, two starting running backs this year.
Carson and the other dude, yeah.
Yeah, so we got that. All right, but the Broncos have a track record of ruining quarterbacks. And this before you go off on
the stage about the Broncos, who are you picking, the Patriots or the Cardinals? Because you haven't said yet.
I'm picking the Patriots. I'm not going to go off on the rant on the Broncos. I'm just going to go off what that is that, you know, we talked about that, whether it's Russell Wilson or not. And you can look at it both ways. The only way that we're really going to be able to tell is when Russell Wilson gets the fuck out of Denver and goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to tell. And
because
I mean, you can tend to maybe I wouldn't wish the Bears on anybody.
One bet. Okay, so they always used to call Tom Brady a system quarterback, which is obviously false because his first year in a brand new system, he won a Super Bowl.
He played in four different systems in his first
while in New England.
Yeah, in New England. So that I throw that whole shit like, what system? Bill Belichick's the defensive coach. What system?
Yep.
Josh McDaniels has used two types of.
Yeah, McDaniels, Bill O'Brien, Joe Judge. And there was one other one,
Charlie Weiss
somewhere. Yeah, Charlie Weiss.
But keep in mind, I know we say that, but look, the Josh McDaniels that was there the first time was completely different than Josh McDaniels the second time. The Josh McDaniels that was there the first time had Randy fucking Moss.
He did,
And when you
but they didn't win a championship with that Josh McDaniels.
no,
When Josh McDaniels went to Denver and fucked up there, then came back. That's when Josh McDaniels finally won championships with Tom Brady.
well, yeah, but that was again a totally different offense because so for those that were not in the know, once Josh McDaniels found out that he had Randy Moss in his offense, he literally built the entire offense around getting Randy Moss to football.
And that offense was so spectacular. Julian Edelman was just a kick returner.
Uh-huh.
Because they had Moss, Wes Welker, Deion Branch, and Troy Brown.
Yeah. I'm saying, you had Randy Moss is good enough. Randy Moss can one-on-one can beat anyone. Anyone. And so that the relationship lasted a couple years. Well, let me rephrase that. In the next year, Tom Brady got hurt.
Yep. And then the last year, Randy Moss pissed off Belichick. So he just
and there you go. And that's what that is. So
and it's a damn shame because that marriage between Moss and Brady had something special written all over it.
Oh, anytime that Tom Brady has had a true number one receiver, and not saying that Mike Evans is not because he is, and obviously you see what happened in Tampa, but once he had a second number one receiver in Antonio Brown, you saw exactly what happened.
But and Godwin.
Well, Godwin is a true number two. A true number two. He is the deuce to what you call him ace, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
But when you have two number ones, a number two, and a fucking tight end that's still all pro, and Leonard Fournette with a chip on his shoulder.
Oh yeah, because you got Gronk back for a season and shit. Yeah, Gronk and Break back. Yeah, I was like,
that's what I'm saying. So we knew how that was gonna go, but that's what the point I'm trying to say. So the Tom Brady that was with Josh McDaniels the second time around, it was about preserving Tom Brady. It was also about redemption because Tom Brady. The whole thing was Tom Brady was in what year 11, year 12 when this happened when he came back, right?
Yeah, Tom moved the 2013, 16, and 18 championships.
Yeah. So that was all about preserving Tom Brady because around that point, around year 14, 15, Bill Belichick was trying to find a way to get rid of Tom Brady.
Because he wanted Jimmy Garoppolo to be the starter going forward.
Yeah, it was well known. So it's not like this. It's not a state secret.
And even after that, Brady still brought home 2 championships.
Mm-hmm. So and that's what it is. And we need to preserve this man because eventually we may need to trade him for like a second or third, maybe a first rounder because he was still playing at a high level. But he obviously won championships, and the fans of New England were like, "Nah, you're gonna keep that man there." Robert Kraft, nah, you're gonna keep that man in there as long as he's winning. We want to keep him there till he's not winning, and that was the Tennessee game in the first round at home.
And you could tell at that point Tom Brady was done with the organization.
Oh yeah,
and
it was a wrap.
I know over the last couple of years they have fixed that relationship. He never had an issue with Kraft; it was always with Belichick. And when they played last year, they fixed that. They squashed all that shit. So
it's mainly, the relationship in of itself was mainly about Bill Belichick's beliefs in how he should run a team. Okay, in every situation, Bill Belichick, when a player got a little too old, when he wasn't showing the signs found a way to get the most value out of him and get rid of him.
And 95% of it was correct calls by Bill Belichick.
Yeah, but the problem is when Tom Brady you kept Tom Brady healthy. If you really wanted to get rid of somebody, you could have just said the O-line, "Hey, just take a dive this way, homie." But I guarantee you that
Tom Brady up on 2 feet is going to get him a ring.
Oh yeah, and that's the conflict. Do I want to change my boat to 7 rings, or do I want to get 2 first-round draft picks for Tom Brady?
Yeah, 7 rings, baby.
7 rings, 5 rings, 6 rings, 7 rings. Listen, it's gonna. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices to get the things that you want, and unfortunately,
Belichick has done that.
Yeah, unfortunately, he couldn't trade Tom Brady. Tom Brady's smart enough to know I'm not gonna let you trade me to fucking anywhere. I see what the fuck happened when you try to trade motherfuckers. Fuck you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
You get a bunch of shit, and I go fail somewhere.
Thank you. We're probably gonna trade him to fucking London silly nannies, baby.
Just touch it back on Moss real quick. We got Randy Moss from the Oakland Raiders for a 5th and a 7th round draft pick in the very first season with New England. He set the all-time receiving touchdown record.
The game in the snow will always define to me.
Oh,
what
the
Randy Moss is
Titans
capable of.
game, the game against the Titans.
And I bet you that Titans win was probably payback for that shit because they embarrassed the Titans in the snow.
Yeah,
They
that shit.
embarrassed.
Brady had 7 touchdowns at halftime.
Yep.
And then they just ran the ball the rest of the time.
Yeah. Well, no. Oh, come on now. Listen. They played. Remember, they played the second stringer. He got shit, and then then the third stringer got shit too. So listen, Matt Castle got stats. Fucking Brian Hoyer got stats. It was a beautiful time.
So I am announcing a trade right now. We are trading Hollywood J. Black to his communist friends, and in return, we are going to get a Russian murderer. You know, just kind of like the trade of Brittany Griner for that dude today.
Listen, it was not a bad trade. Okay. What? There's logic behind it. I don't know what that logic is.
Unfortunately, Joe Biden's logic is fucking mental, going into a mental hospital next year, you know, after he's out of the presidency.
Hey, first off, the arms Russian dealer was only trading weapons that he already had, okay? He already had them. He wasn't trading our shit. He already had shit. Oh, you want anti-aircraft missiles? Nigga, I built the shit. I got it, homie.
We literally gave up a terrorist for a basketball player.
They're all criminals. Listen, they're all criminals. All of them.
So my whole argument about this thing is Brittany Griner has been going there and playing for the last 4 years. She knew what the fuck is legal and illegal there. And yes, she still chose to do the illegal shit like a dumbass.
Okay, Victor Bout knew that knew that fucking selling fucking Afghan fucking weaponry to the fucking Yemen is illegal too. In every country. But he still chose to do it anyway. And in the fact that they have the Marine, which is a Russian spy, they had a trial. He was convicted of espionage. They had proof. This is when we were actually getting along with Russia, which was like for like 17 seconds, okay? But they had proof. So like we're trading criminals for criminals. All right? So like at this point, I don't. They're all criminals. They're all a bunch of fucking felons, okay? Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. But you want to know what my favorite part about this was?
What?
The footage of the trade-off, it looked like an FBI TV show. All right, you walk 5 feet, I walk 5 feet. You guys walk across each other. Don't say nothing. Just go to each other, okay? Okay. That's how the fucking scene played out, dude. It just made me laugh.
Let me tell you what I would have done if I was the president. I would have done the trade, right? But guaranteed, as soon as that plane got off the ground, cruise missile, boom, and then it would have had some shit like fucking India on the flag, or the fucking shit. or fucking Ukraine. Oh, it was just part of the war. That's all. It was just part of the war.
So I am stopping this now. We are not going to go into this because we know the FBI is watching.
Are they? Are they?
Yes.
My FBI agent said I suck as an announcer on this show. He said I'm tired of his shit. He's tired of my shit and he's no longer watching.
Now he's getting ready to trade you to Kim Jong-un. So Kim Jong-un can spend more time with Dennis Rodman.
That's weird. So are they trading me and Dennis Rodman for cash considerations?
No, because they're trading you over there so Dennis Rodman has a reason to go visit him again.
Oh, so they can negotiate me back. Like for pretend. Like be like, oh, we want him back.
But they're just going to keep you there because Kim Jong-un probably comes up to your hip and he likes our reactions.
My little midget friend Kim Jong-un loves our reactions, okay? He probably uses a VPN to watch us. It's fine, okay? So Kim Jong-un, if you like our reactions, thank you. If you don't like our reactions, thank you for not trying to kidnap me. Anyways, all right, so...
Oh, Hollywood J. Black. Hi, how you doing?
So who's left? Who we got to vote on now?
That's it. We're done.
We're done? Why?
Yes. The money, because you done turned us into assets of the state now, not assets, but asses of the state.
That should be a movie, Asses of the State.
Anyway, this has been week 14's NFL Lowdown. See, when I missed a week, we end up going for 2 fucking hours on this bullshit.
Your fault.
Rants of Hollywood just going off is why I could not put his picks together. I had to ask him for his picks because I was trying to go through the video. He says one thing about a game, and then he's tailing off over here talking about some other shit.
Well,
So I am here to keep Hollywood in check on these videos. That is my whole thing here.
It isn't my fault that God has smited down the Denver Broncos. Does it look like I wanted them to do it? No.
And it's not going to be my fault when the U.S. government smites down this channel.
He said that might already be a movie on those adult channel. Coming soon on Pornhub, starring Bill Clinton, asses of the states.
And with all that being said, my name is Big Sin. That's Hollywood J Black. That's Steve Cherry in the comments. We will see you guys next week, and we'll be recording more reactions this weekend. So we'll see you soon.
We'll see you next week if the feds don't bust us. Have a good day.
If I'm only here, and there's some weird Asian guy with glasses on the other side, that means Hollywood is in North Korea with Kim Jong Un. Okay.
Okay, and if I'm only here, and Sin's not here, but Mickey Bourbon just so happens to be here, that means that.
That means he traded me to the Grind Mode Cypher for no goddamn reason.
Exactly. Traded for Mickey Bourbon and cash considerations. Anyways, holla at us this weekend on the reaction channel. Holla at your boys. Deuces. Why is it the mic? Oh, there we go. Bye.
Bye.